This is a dissertation examination and presentation for Chapter 1 of the Relationship of Mathematics Anxiety, Mathematical Beliefs, and Instructional Practices of Elementary School Teachers by Pamela Hughes from Georgia State University. I chose to review this dissertation due to it being aligned with my current topic of interest. For my dissertation, I am wanting to look at leadership behaviors that support building efficacy in mathematics education. Knowing more about mathematics anxiety, mathematical beliefs, and instructional practices will allow me to further my research to include additional studies in my own literature. The author did not include an introduction in Chapter 1. Chapter 1 began with a section titled The Problem. The author had a well-developed statement of the problem. The beginning of the problem could have been broken up into two different sections, including the introduction and the problem, but the author chose to merge both parts into just the problem. The section includes information that connects to additional research that has been done to enhance the researcher's questions and hypotheses. The problem component also includes pertinent vocabulary that will be utilized throughout the study. The author did a good job of presenting evidence that a problem exists and points out the need for the issue to be addressed. The purpose of the study was to explore the relationship between practicing elementary teachers' anxiety towards mathematics and the teacher's mathematical beliefs, and to examine how these affective characteristics were or were not related to the instructional practices of elementary teachers. The author was clear and concise with the purpose of the study. The research questions were formulated in the form of a question, suggest a relationship among the constructs within the study, and can be empirically testable. The research questions include: what is the relationship between the mathematics anxiety and the instructional practices of elementary teachers? What is the relationship between the mathematical beliefs and the instructional practices of elementary teachers? And what is the relationship between mathematics anxiety and the mathematical beliefs of elementary teachers? From these research questions, the author created hypotheses and declarative statements written in the expected or predicted direction. The author did not include a full theoretical framework in Chapter 1, only a brief summary in the conclusion to set up Chapter 2. Chapter 2 of this dissertation is dedicated to theoretical perspective, where the model is discussed as a model relating teachers' content knowledge, attitudes, and instructional beliefs. There were no limitation or assumptions discussed in Chapter 1. The author does state in the conclusion of Chapter 1 that these will be addressed in Chapters 5 and Chapter 6 of the dissertation. The author discussed the organization of the study to be a quantitative study in which a survey design will be used to explore the relationship between mathematics beliefs, mathematics anxiety, and instructional practices. The author points out in the study that there are gaps in the research with quantitative data. Most research has been done in a qualitative manner and only involves small groups of teachers. The author states that it is necessary to examine the three constructs using a large-scale quantitative study. Key terms noted in Chapter 1 include mathematics anxiety, mathematical beliefs, instructional practices, practicing teacher, and prospective teacher. By including these key terms with the dissertation will assist in knowing how each is defined. The keywords you choose should first and foremost be the terms that represent the central concepts in your dissertation, but they should also be terms that potential readers seeking information of the kind contained in your dissertation are most likely to enter into search engines. Strengths noted in this Chapter 1 of the dissertation were that the author includes information that connects to the additional research that has been done to enhance the researcher's questions and hypotheses. The author has developed a clear and concise purpose of the study. The author presents a well-developed summary of the methodology and contains a brief outline for the study. Areas to improve in this chapter would be for the author to look at separating the problem and the introduction into two parts, the author to add limitations and assumptions within Chapter 1, remove the literature that was reviewed at the end of the chapter, as there was a significant amount of literature reviewed and presented at the end of Chapter 1, and to add a theoretical framework. After reviewing Chapter 1, I have begun to think about what I need to consider when writing my own Chapter 1. Some of the lessons or ideas that I have learned from this review are to ensure that the introduction and the problem are well developed. State the general field of interest in 1 to 2 paragraphs and end with a sentence that states what the study will accomplish. Do not keep the reader wanting to find out the precise subject of the dissertation. Ensure that clear implications of the research are discussed. Include a statement of the exact gap in the knowledge of the most current literature found. Briefly discuss relevant research that helps to justify the study based on the contribution to the current literature. Briefly describe the methodology and design, including data collection, population, sample, instrumentation, and analysis. And in my final paragraph, preview the content of the remaining chapters. Thank you for listening to this dissertation examination.